Nairobi, with its current population, produces an average of 2,000 tons of garbage per day. According to Nairobi County Executive in charge of Environment Engineer Peter Kimori, 10% of it is plastic that is non-biodegradable.
It has quite a long-term effect on our environment. If you look around, you'll realize that it affects human, animals, and even the ground. So if we can do with materials which can be degradable, we're talking about like paper, pulp, then that is the way to go.
So is the current move by the Ministry of Environment to ban the use of plastic bags justified legislation?
No one is interested in hurting business or livelihoods. We share one country, and the position is that we should be promoting the tenets of sustainable development. We have inherited this country from our forebears, and of course the generations that come after us have as much right as we do to enjoy the same qualities of life and environmental goods and services.
But as the debate continues, the reality on the ground tells a different story.
As right now, we are 90% of the Dandora Dam site is being used or is full, up to 90%, or 95 actually to be exact. So we need equipments to push whatever comes in to create more space.
Clearly, the management of garbage, especially in the cities and formal settlements, remains a challenge. Compounded by the lack of a proper sewage system, our rivers bear the brunt of the damage.
The sewer system in Nairobi has been underserved for a long time. And I can tell you, we have only 34% of Nairobi served by sewer. And therefore, we have around 66% to take care of, and some of it, and most of it actually ends up in our river.
Right on the backyard of what is inarguably the biggest urban ghetto in the world, the Nairobi Dam takes on a similar fate. Commissioned in 1953 as a sailing and recreational facility, the Nairobi Dam at its zenith spanned a total surface area of about 86 acres with a capacity of about 98,000 cubic meters. Today, however, it casts a forlorn shadow of its former glory.
Sasa hii damu kukauka ni hiyo kwekwe ilitupa hapo ndani, hiyo weed inaitwa hyacinth. Sasa hiyo hyacinth kutupa hapo maji kaanza kukauka, maanake hiyo hyacinth inakunywa maji day and night. Sasa hiyo ndio ilisaidia kuziba, na ile mchanga inatoka huko mtaani, drainage huko Kibera kijiji hakuna drainage. Sasa kukinyesha hiyo mvua inabeba majualama, mikebe, mchanga. Hizo zikichanganyikana na ile hyacinth sababu imemea hivi ikaform kitu kama matope, layer ingine iko juu ya layer ikakama iko juu ya maji.
In 1856, the British Parliament in London was forced to shift from the Westminster Palace beside the River Thames to Oxford after the stench from the polluted river got unbearable. The event went down in history as the Great Stink, and it took only 18 days for the House of Commons to commission finances to restructure the sewage system in the city in a bid to conserve the river channel. Back home, the late John Michuki, in his tenure as Environment Minister, pushed for the rehabilitation of the Nairobi River Channel, giving rise to the Nairobi River Rehabilitation Project. Part of the 12 billion shilling project was to facilitate the resettlement of communities living along the river channel.
The rehabilitation program is still on, and it's under our parent ministry, the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. And you would see that in terms of securing the riparian area and doing the reclamation, the planting of seedlings and so on and so forth, it has not done too bad. If you had seen the section that now comes from Globe all the way to near the National Museums of Kenya and beyond, before that was a very polluted area. It was an eyesore. There are lots of activities going on. It's really fenced. It's beautiful.
And so, aside from the rhetoric, what exactly are the benefits of conserving the Nairobi River? Environmental scientists have proven that increased conservation and protection of water catchment areas increases water levels in the river basin. A complete overhaul and rehabilitation of the sewage system along the river channel means that water from the river can be sanitized to drinkable levels and even harvested for the production of hydroelectric power to light up the city. This eventually translates to cheaper monthly water and electricity bills and in the long run, a healthier and more industrious Nairobi.
For decades, the Nairobi River has been flowing through the same channel, emptying thousands of gallons of water into the Arthur River before finally winding up in the Indian Ocean. As we head into the elections, we have a responsibility to then vote in leaders with a vision to commission projects such as the conservation of water and natural resources to work for the people. It is then your responsibility to vote in such a leader, and even more so to see to the purity of the environment, to see to a safer, healthier, and in our time, a more economic-friendly environment. For Channel 1 News Hour, I'm Vitalis Nyago.